JFO here with another Friday High Vibes video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jennifer Fricelli, but everyone calls me JFO. I am a Zodiac love guru. I teach my Destiny Vibe system. It's an astrological system that I've created over 25 years of studying birth charts by reading them in real time. Thousands and thousands of them. I've created this system based on the destiny line in your birth chart. I mostly teach what I call love vibes. As you know, my channel is called High Vibes at JFO. Obviously, I want you to live a high vibe life. The goal is to live a high vibe 360-degree life where every area of your life is on point. Now, in a birth chart, there's 4 corners of the chart. We start with self, which is what I like to call the destiny vibes. You've got to learn about your personality and who you are before you can have anything else, or at least have it in the way you want to have it. Second is your diamond vibes. Your diamond vibes is your home environment, or I like to call your health and wealth space, right? Your body and your mindset, and just being in your highest level of performance. Now, if you're interested in some diamond vibes, let me know. You can always email me. All the information is below. I do coach on body and health and fitness as well. Next in the circle is your star vibes. And your star vibes is how you can actually monetize your destiny vibes. Yeah, you can actually get that high performance, understand who you really are, and then get out in the world and share it with more people and serve people and give the value of who you are and be a star in your life and change the world. But today we're going to talk about the last of the 4 corners, which is your love vibes. And your love vibes is all about your partnerships, your relationships, and obviously that starts with a relationship with yourself. But in this particular video, we're going to talk about romantic compatibility using astrology. Now, this is one of my favorite topics because everyone's doing it wrong and understanding it wrong. I'm telling you right now, everyone's understanding it wrong. Eventually, I want to create my own dating app. Wouldn't that be cool? Astrology mixed with your high vibes in a dating app, mixed with this work that I teach, which is Pat Allen. I've done a couple of other videos on Pat Allen. I love her work so much. I've been studying Pat Allen since the summer of 2015. I love her to death. She's amazing. Look her up. She's like 85 and so funny. But she is a psychologist who teaches what she calls androgynous semantic realignment. It's just a fancy way of saying how we can take masculine and feminine energy and align it in the correct way and use the powerful tools of communication to get what we want and negotiate. All relationships are a negotiation, even the relationship with yourself. But how can you really negotiate the right way if you don't understand your chart? To me, the two go so hand in hand. Astrology and the work of Pat Allen, it's just a match made in heaven. And I'm gonna share that with you today. Now, before we dive into this episode, I want to know in the comments below, where are you struggling right now in your romantic relationships? What's going on there? How can I help? How can I support you? How can I do more videos on this topic? What do you need? Okay, let's get started. We're going to first dive into the Pat Allen portion, and then we'll dive into the astrology portion. So first, you got to understand that what makes a romantic relationship work is the 3 C's. Are you ready? Chemistry, compatibility, and communication. But I actually think it's really more the 4 C's. What are the 4 C's? Well, I really think it's chemistry, compatibility, communication, and commitment. Because if you're not on the same page with your level of commitment, it's most likely not going to work. So let's dive into all 4. So the first one is chemistry. It's the only thing that you cannot control. You either have chemistry or you don't have chemistry. It's the only thing that you cannot control. The second is compatibility. Compatibility is something you sort of can control. A lot of it just has to naturally be there, but you can compromise and start to share interests with each other and build that compatibility. And the third thing is communication. It's the only thing you truly can control. And of course, commitment. Getting super clear on the level of commitment and the type of relationship you want, and looking for people who want the same thing, and being very clear on what you want and negotiating the terms, but also walking away if it's not right. Now, in order to understand the communication piece, we're going to really dial into this because the chemistry aspect is astrology. So now let's dive into another thing that Pat Allen teaches that's going to help you understand the communication part of the 4Cs. We're going to take these 4Cs and we're going to break them into 2 separate categories, okay? Now, chemistry and compatibility, we're going to talk about in a little bit because that is very much the astrology aspect of this video. Communication and commitment, we're going to break up into its own category because that is the art of Pat Allen. If I teach you Pat Allen really quickly, you're going to understand how to control that part of the 4Cs. Allen teaches that we have 4 people in every relationship. And in the relationship with yourself, you have 2 people. Okay? Why do we have 4 people in every relationship? Because we have your thoughts and emotions, and we have the other person's thoughts and emotions. A relationship is actually in your mind. When you really think about it, you are in relationship with pretty much all these people in the world, even if you've never met them or you're talking about someone who's passed away, because relationships are in your mind. Everything is about the internal landscape. I always teach with my 1, 2, 3, 4 method that there's spiritual energy moves into physical form. We have a thought about it. We have an emotion about it. We repeat that cycle. The only part of that 1, 2, 3, 4 that we're controlling is our thoughts and our emotions. Our thoughts and our emotions are creating our vibration, and our vibration is manifesting, everything that's manifesting out in the world. But the only thing we truly have control over are our thoughts and our emotions. Now, in a relationship, we're going to use the basic man with a woman, okay? But you can apply this to any relationship. This has nothing to do with gender and everything to do with thoughts and feelings, okay? But for the purposes of this video, I'm going to make it super simple. There's a man, he wants to be the pilot or the masculine energy. There's a woman, she wants to be the co-pilot or the feminine energy of the relationship. And they are a perfect match because we need a waltzing partner, not a disco partner doing the same thing as us. So if you're a woman looking for a man and you want to be the pilot, and you're a man looking for a woman and you want to be the pilot, not gonna work. Same thing, if you're a man and you want to be the co-pilot and you're a woman and you want to be the co-pilot, not gonna work. Why? Because someone has to be the lead and someone has to be the follow, okay? It's just pilot, co-pilot. It's a waltzing. That's what romance is. Now, once you're in a relationship, once you're in a marriage, you can use the tools of communication, which we'll get to in a little bit, to actually negotiate the terms so that in certain seasons of the marriage, maybe you switch roles. This is what you're majoring in versus what you're minoring in, okay? So if you're going to be the pilot, you're majoring in being the pilot and you're minoring in being the co-pilot. There might be times where you switch roles, but this is just the default type so that when you're dating, you match with someone who's going to be the perfect waltzing partner for you. The reason why this is so important is because a lot of people come to me and they're all about the astrology, and we're going to get to that in a second. But it's not about the astrology alone. If you don't understand the basic tools of how to form a healthy relationship, you're not going to be able to do it no matter what the person's sign is, okay? So step 1, you need to know which one you are. And the best way to know which one you are is to ask the question, do I want my thoughts respected or do I want my feelings cherished? You're gonna get both, but you have to sacrifice one. A relationship is about compromise. It's about sacrifice. And if you're gonna have a waltzing experience, you're gonna have to sacrifice something in that. So if you're gonna be the pilot, you're kind of sacrificing your emotions because you have to be the leader, right? And you're gonna really cherish the emotions of your co-pilot. And therefore, you're going to have to put your emotions a little bit aside and cherish the emotions of your co-pilot. If you're the co-pilot, you're going to have to put aside your thoughts and wanting to be the leader and wanting to be in charge. You're going to have to surrender a little bit and trust that the pilot, your pilot, is going to cherish your emotions and lead the charge the right way in a way that feels good to you. So you're really sacrificing something. And what we see a lot in nowadays, especially in relationships, is a lot of narcissism. Narcissism isn't actually bad. Healthy narcissism is good. That's what Pat Allen teaches. She actually teaches that having a little bit of healthy narcissism is good. We want to have boundaries. We want to have confidence. We want to have a little bit of, that part of loving ourselves, right? But that it's the toxic narcissism where we get in trouble. And what is toxic narcissism? It's wanting your thoughts respected and wanting your feelings cherished and that's about it. You want both. You want to be the pilot, you want to be the co-pilot, and you want to decide, what hour of the day you want to be what. So for example, maybe, at 8 o'clock, you're like, I want to take control. We're doing this tonight. And then 2 hours later, you're like, I feel really upset. Please, hold me, right? You can't just make your partner be some slave to your emotions and thoughts. You have to be giving value in a relationship. So what value is comfortable for you to give? Being the protector, being the pilot, being the leader, being the one who's going to take charge, and understand that your co-pilot is going to give you feedback. They have veto rights. If the co-pilot is not feeling good about what you're choosing for the partnership, they have the chance to have a veto right? Vice versa. If you're the co-pilot and you cannot respect the pilot, you're going to have to use the tools of communication to express, I'm having trouble respecting your decisions, the way you're leading us, right? So it becomes such a beautiful thing when you understand the waltzing process and that you have to pick one side of the waltzing process, okay? So that is the pilot and co-pilot part of this, but you have to understand that there's 4 people in every relationship. There's your thoughts and feelings and the other person's thoughts and feelings. And once you organize and understand who's going to be the pilot and who's going to be the co-pilot, it really helps that part of the relationship so that you can speak to each other from what part of the 4 people you're coming from, right? So, for example, if you're the pilot and you want to communicate with your co-pilot, you're going to use wording such as, when you did that, it made me think this. How do you feel about that? Because you're kind of owning your thoughts as the pilot, and then you're saying, how did you feel? And you're kind of allowing them to tap into how they felt because you want to cherish their feelings. Vice versa, if it's the other way around. If you are the co-pilot, you're going to go to your pilot partner and you're going to say, when you did that, it made me feel this. What do you think about that? It's just such a powerful way of stating, you did that action. It made me feel this way. What do you think about that? And it's just giving them the chance to say, you know what? I don't like that. I don't want you to feel that way. And it's really bringing in that compassion and that level of communication where you can really speak your truth, but understand that you have to manage your own thoughts and feelings about things and then bring it up to your partner using the tools of communication that Pat Allen teaches. Now let's talk about the nitty gritty. How do we use astrology to understand compatibility? And how can we use it to understand the 2 other parts of the 4 C's, which is compatibility and chemistry? I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen it time and time again. Chemistry is all astrology. So let's talk about chemistry and compatibility from an astrological standpoint. How do we use astrology for romantic compatibility? How do we do it? Well, you have to understand that every sign is either masculine or feminine. Now, again, this is not gender. In astrology, masculine and feminine just means going outward or going inward, okay? So every sign in astrology is either an inward type sign or an outward type sign, okay? Fire signs and air signs go out. Earth signs and water signs go in. And again, it's really ironically exactly what Pat Allen talks about, because you've got that the thinking brain is masculine, okay? And the action part of us is masculine as well. Whereas the emotion part of us is feminine and the logical grounded part of us is also feminine, right? So you've got this feminine masculine thing again, just from a perspective of personality, right? So what you want in a chart matching is you want a good balance of the masculine and the feminine. If you have one partner who has a lot of masculine signs and one partner has a lot of feminine signs, it's probably not going to be good. Now, the irony of this is that in the Pat Allen teachings, you need that waltzing, you need the masculine with the feminine. Even if it's 2 men in a relationship or 2 women in a relationship, you still need that waltzing of the masculine and feminine. But when it comes to personality, it's the other way around. Masculine hangs out with masculine, feminine hangs out with feminine. So outgoing energies are going to work with outgoing energies, and inward type energies are going to work with inward type energies. Now, it's not so specific like that because we have a balance of all of these signs. So think about it. You have your sun sign, and your sun sign's in a house, okay? So for me, I'm a Sagittarius in the Pisces house. That's a masculine sign in a feminine house, and that's just my sun sign. There's my moon, there's my destiny, there's my Mars, there's my Venus, and so forth. But also what's going to distinguish the combination, meaning feminine in a feminine house or feminine in a masculine house or whatever, what's going to distinguish that is the rising sign. Usually the rising sign helps with that combination. So what I look to first in a chart matching is how are the four corners of the chart matching with the other person's four corners. If two people have those four corners merging perfectly, meaning that maybe someone has four corners that are all in masculine signs and they merge perfectly with the other person because they all have four corners that are also masculine signs, right? See how I'm going here? Now, at the end of the day, compatibility is going to come down to the aspects and also the totality of the charts and the balancing of this masculine and feminine energy within the personality system, okay? But when I see someone that has like Libra rising, okay, and someone else has Gemini rising, that's incredible because that's air with air. Their descendant's going to be fire with fire. And most likely that other line of the cosmic cross of the chart is also going to be very much aligned. So how they are with themselves is air energy thinking, and how they are with others is fiery. And they're going to really just be in sync because they're going to have that same style, that same flair, that same energy. Now, there's a couple of different ways we can do romantic compatibility in astrology. Let's break it down. The first way I like to do it is kind of what I just said. I look at the charts and I see, okay, their sun signs don't match. One of them is masculine, one of them is feminine. However, it's flipped with the houses. So for example, someone could be Virgo in the Leo house and someone could be Sagittarius in the Capricorn house, and they both have that fire earth for their sun energy. Maybe it's not exactly perfect, because it's house versus sign, but there's a balancing there. They both have that fire earth energy as their sun, and so it works, right? Another way you can look at it is if their moon is earth and the person is an earth sign, and then their sun signs air and that person's moon is air, it kind of works, the moon and the sun together. It's a balancing act, right? But I basically look at all of those things. I look at the sun, the moon, the houses that they're in. I look at the rising sign. I look at the four corners. I look at Mars. I look at the destiny line. I look at all of these things and I immediately scan it and I get an understanding of what's the balancing. Is there enough balancing of fire and earth together and air and water together and this, this feminine and masculine balancing, okay? So now that is the first way to look at it. You can basically do the aspects because everything in astrology that comes down to aspects is all about this masculine and feminine. I'm telling you right now. If you're thinking about an opposition, it's masculine opposing masculine, feminine opposing feminine, okay? That's an opposition. If you're thinking about a trine is the same element with the same element. So earth with earth, okay? Feminine and feminine. If you're thinking about a sextile, it's still masculine with masculine. It's just a different element. So it's like fire sign with an air sign that's just not an opposition, not an opposite sign, okay? So when you're dealing with the square, which is like a very harsh aspect, is just basically when two people have the same quality, but it's a different gender. So for example, Leo with Scorpio. Leo is a masculine fixed, Scorpio is a feminine fixed. That's a square. Now, I'm not going to look at someone's chart and see one square and freak out. If they've got incredible balancing everywhere else, that one square might be a little bit of dissonance, but sometimes we need a little bit of dissonance to create that harmony. So that's the first way, just seeing the charts and seeing how they kind of balance out that masculine and feminine and the aspects that you see. Now, here are the three other ways, which is really cool. One way is called the midpoint method. You can actually have the computer take two charts and they're going to mathematically take the midpoint method for everything. So they're going to look at the sun signs and what is the absolute midpoint for those sun signs. And they're using the zodiac order, obviously, and they're going with degrees, and it's all mathematical. So what's going to happen is you're going to create a chart of the relationship. It's the coolest thing you'll ever see. So you can take an actual chart of the relationship and analyze that chart by itself. So that's a whole other way to look at a romantic compatibility. And the last two ways are the same way, but just you would have to do two charts, right? So you can take your chart and put all of the energy of the other person inside your chart and vice versa. Take their chart and put all of your planets and energy into their chart. And how you do that is by the degrees. So let's say your destiny is 5 degrees Virgo, okay? 5 degrees Virgo. And let's say in this other person's chart, their moon is 5 degrees Virgo. Or maybe you take that 5 degrees Virgo and you place it in their chart and they have no planets there, but it falls in their home house. They're going to really feel at home with you because it's falling in their home house. Or maybe they're going to feel criticized in their home because your Virgo energy is fallen in their home house, right? So that's really the next step up of romantic compatibility, because now we're saying, okay, let's not look at how you two come together and work with each other. How do you experience each other, right? So that's another really interesting thing, because you can experience your partner in a very different way than they're experiencing you. And when you can see what gets triggered up in each other's charts, where your destiny falls in their chart, where, you know, their destiny falls in your chart, you can really see the spiritual assignment of the relationship. Every relationship is a spiritual assignment. We just don't see it that way because we're not looking at the behind the scenes information. Once you look at the behind the scenes information, it becomes the most fascinating thing you'll ever see. You start to realize, oh, that's why we're struggling. That's why we're fighting, because of that very specific aspect, or because their, you know, moon sign falls in my 9th house or whatever. So to summarize, you first got to break down the 4 C's: chemistry, compatibility, communication, and commitment. 2 people have to align with all 4 of those things to make a relationship work. Then second, you got to understand, are you the pilot or the co-pilot? Who do you want to be? Maybe in your dating life, you're flexible. Maybe you meet someone and you're totally cool with being the co-pilot. And maybe you meet another personality and you realize in that relationship, you're more the pilot. That's okay, but you need to determine it and you need to decide. And last but not least, then you can really dive deeper into the astrological compatibility. You can look at both charts and see the balancing of the feminine and masculine energy. You can take your chart and put the energy of the other person in your chart and vice versa. Or you can do the midpoint method and you can see the chart of the relationship. If you want to know more about your relationship, let's do a double whammy reading. Find the links below to book one today. Also, make sure to follow me on Instagram. You'll find everything below. Remember, you are a star in the movie of your life. You have a special destiny that's unique to you. So keep shining your light, and I'll catch you next week on the High Vibe Show with JFO.
Home, rush to see if she called or even left a message for me in a flash. All alone.